Hey, listen, the truth is you're actually amazing and disciplined. In fact, the reason you're getting nothing done, to be quite honest. It sounds weird, but let's be honest. If you think about it, you're disciplined, however, you're disciplined to an emotion. The emotion's a big issue. When you're disciplined to emotion, not disciplined to a plan, an actual plan, well, you fall short because what ends up happening is we start to go based off how we feel. And how we feel isn't always gonna be the best thing to help us guide in the right direction, because let's be honest, if you feel like doing it today, you get it done. If you don't feel like doing it, you don't do it. You find a really good excuse to get distracted, to get to a point of procrastination. Next thing you know, nothing's getting completed, nothing's getting done, and now you're sitting there spinning your wheels going, well, why is it I keep procrastinating? Well, because you're disciplined to your emotions, not to an actual plan. And for me, I know it's to be true because I lived this way. Like, that's kind of how I operated for a while. And it's exactly why over time you'll feel like more and more crap before you get a month down the road, or you get a week down the road, a month down the road, 6 months down the road, a year down the road, and you've made no progress, and now you look at your life and it's stagnating. You find yourself sitting there going, man, I'm not understanding. I'm so driven to be successful. I'm so driven to have this goal get met. I swear I want it, right? And the issue is not whether or not you actually want it. I get that you desire it. I understand you want it. You understand you want it. The bigger problem becomes, well, when it gets to the point of we'll call it push comes a shove. When a moment takes place and you have to sit there and determine, will I do this or will I find a way to distract myself? You usually don't get it done. You procrastinate on it. You much rather play the video game. You'd much rather watch the TV show. You'd much rather hang with your friends, go out and get a couple drinks because, I'll do it in the future. The future becomes this magical place where everything gets done, but the truth is nothing's getting done there. So all of a sudden you find yourself in this weird spun up situation, go, why can't I find another push, another tick, and then we start struggling. For me, man, when I was opening my first business back in 2008, I went through a period of time, man, for like literally every single 2 weeks, I was an up and down roller coaster. I promise this will make 100% sense what I'm talking about. See, in a business, there's certain tasks that must get done. You have to do marketing, you have to do sales, you must train your staff, you must train your clients. At a gym, I had to train my clients. I had to work on making sure the systems are all taken care of for the company, all these little nuances, bills are paid, things done. And what's up happening is you start finding yourself pushing tasks farther and farther out, because I tell myself I'm gonna get it done today, I'm gonna get it done tomorrow. Then today shows up or tomorrow shows up, and I find myself going, I don't feel like doing this. I wouldn't say it verbally, but I would feel it. I don't want to do this right now. So I'd go do something else. I'd walk away, I'd tuck into a corner, I'd work on something I wanted to work on, I'd make some creation, I'd go for lunch, right? And then you start looking at yourself and you go, man, I'm letting a day go by, another day go by, another day go by. And then I would find myself in a situation where every single 2 weeks, I'm struggling to pay rent. I couldn't pay payroll and rent, right? It was because every 2 weeks, every month's payroll, every month is rent, but then every 2 weeks is payroll. So in a 2 week period, I got payroll due. 2 more weeks, I got payroll and rent due. And I was struggling, man. 9 months into my business, the first year in, I was looking at bankruptcy, man. Couldn't pay the rent for 3 months, had no money coming in. I wasn't doing anything simply because I was procrastinating. I was staying stagnant. I wasn't actually moving the needle. So I'm sitting here looking at this business going, if I don't figure something out, I'm about to go under. Literally go under and owe $250,000. And I didn't have $250,000 to my name at the point, so I was gonna be bankrupt. Only way to make it work, I can't pay that off. It would be crazy. So I remember sitting there going, what do I do? And I had this person at one point in time break something down to me, because here's what I used to do. I'd have this window of time where I go, you know what, I'm really gonna work on the marketing. I'm gonna make sure I put some stuff together to get it out to the world, to build the name, build the brand, bring more traffic in, build the business, That was the big focus. And I found myself doing none of that. I didn't know why I was stuck. And what I would find is that, okay, I'd say I'm gonna do it today, and then I would have a window of time, an hour, a 2-hour window. And typically I could work in that window, but I would finish a client, I'd have another client in an hour, 2 hours, a little break. And then what I would do is I would end up talking to people, or let people talk to me, and I'd be in this space where nothing's getting done, I'm not making any progress, and I would get done with that 2 hours on a next client and go, man, I wasted 2 hours. And so someone introduced something to me called a GPS planner. And really, it's what I call a GPS planner, because to me it was a goal plan start. Back then it was a sheet of paper, an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. And the only thing on this thing, this whole piece of paper, was just like lines for the day and for actual time. I have since turned it into an actual GPS planner. If you go to thegpsplanner.com, you can get one. And it's an actual planner, man. It's nice, leather bound, like this thing is dope. This is mine. It's my baby. And so we created this, but this came from me doing 11 years of figuring out the process to get to where I'm at now. And that's what I'm gonna teach you today, is exactly how to do this. Because for me, this saves me. Like, this saved my life, it saved my marriage, saved my businesses, having a structure. So I'm gonna break down for you exactly how. So the first thing you have to do, this first process and part of this, is when it comes to you figuring out how to be able to end the procrastination and get more stuff done. Because really, that's the big thing. How do I get more things done from trying to accomplish something, right? The first thing is I have to identify the tasks that gotta get done and break them into smaller, manageable parts. That's a key part of it, right? So you have to go, what's the core piece? What is this big main thing, right? Let's say I need to figure out a marketing plan. Just make this up. Entrepreneurial, I gotta do a marketing plan. All right, cool. Well, what is that comprised of? Well, it's gonna be comprised of going into the market and say, okay, great. Who am I talking to? What kind of content do I want to create for them? If I'm gonna make a podcast, what does it look like to make the podcast, to create it the first time and launch it, to do it consistently every single month? Maybe if I'm not doing that, I'm gonna do mailers. What does it look like to do mailers? I'm gonna get someone to design this card and find a printer, find a shipper. There's little nuanced pieces. Everything has some little pieces to it. Maybe it's like, you know what? I want to get in shape. Cool. What are you gonna do? I gotta look for a place to go train. I gotta find a place for getting my nutrition taken care of, even if it's meal prepping. I gotta get to the point of getting something clean and clear in terms of what I'm gonna do for my workout. Maybe it's gonna be riding a bike, maybe it's gonna be rowing, maybe I'm gonna go for a run, maybe I'm gonna go to CrossFit, I'm gonna get a personal trainer. Whatever it is, every single one of those steps takes time. Each individual piece should take a certain window of time that you think about in advance. Maybe it's 30 minutes, maybe it's an hour, maybe it's 2 hours, I don't know. But what you do is you step back and go, I need to pull this apart like an accordion. And before I start making progress, I gotta have everything laid out to where I know what I'm making progress on. That's the big issue for people. You don't know what you're making progress on. You just know I'm working on something. You don't know how many hours it's gonna take, which means you have no idea when it's gonna get done, so you can't plan beyond that point in time. You're stuck in the here and now. So the first thing you've got to do is literally pull everything apart, sit yourself down and go, what are the different stages? What are the different steps? What's got to get completed? And then you start giving yourself this little bit of traction, because now you go, hey, I got some hope. I can see when it's going to get completed. I know when it might be done. Like, all right, a bigger vision settles in, and so now I'm feeling a little more comfortable, a little more confident. I can do this. You feel a lot better. And so now I go, okay, great, I can do this. These are my pieces. Here's the allocation of time. Then what you do is, whenever you have a block of time allocated towards this task, you've got to set a timer. I have an actual timer. It's right here. I'm gonna move my mic, get the timer for you so you can see the stinking thing. I got this timer here. This timer is what runs my life. Like, this thing operates, hold it for, I can spin it and set times. If you can see it, you spin it, you set the time for what it's gotta be, right? And then I go, all right, I'm good, let's go to work. And this thing right here will start counting down. Now, as this thing counts down, like, I will look at this and go, that is the time that I have to be able to get something completed. So I don't leave this space. I will not leave this area until this timer clicks and goes, beep, done. Right? So what I'm doing is I'm teaching myself to hunker down and pay attention in this window of time and do this thing in the allocated time. So set it for 25 minutes, set it for 45 minutes, set it for 50, set it for an hour. I don't care what you set it for. Whatever that time that needs to be allocated towards it is set for, allocate the time. So you can sit yourself down and focus on that and be disciplined to the timer in that window of time. Like, be disciplined to that. When that thing, you look at it, it goes, hey, there's still time. Don't pick your phone up. Don't go walking out of the room. Don't go check the TV. Don't answer the phone. Don't answer the door. You're in. That's it. You're in. That's what discipline does. It makes you hunker down. That's why successful people are successful. They can tune things out because they've told themselves, this hour, this gets done. It's the second part of it. Make sure you got this thing set aside. Then, whenever you have moments where there's an in-between, take breaks. Most people don't take breaks, man. Most people just kind of go, you know what? I'm gonna power through for like 6 hours. No, you're not. You are not gonna do that. I'm telling you right now, you are not gonna power through anything for a straight 6 hours. Unless you got a whole bunch of Red Bull, Mountain Dew, you're geeked up on caffeine, which isn't very healthy for you anyways, you are gonna crash. You are not gonna get it 6 hours straight. What you should do to be able to get maybe 5 solid hours is every hour, every break you have, man, pull back and go, I'm gonna take a 15-minute break. Go for an hour, 15-minute break. Go for another hour, 15-minute, and just keep doing that. When you get through, you're gonna have from hour 1 to hour 5, in between there's 4 breaks. I think it's 3 or 4 breaks, 1, 2, 3, yeah, it's like 4 breaks. So if I do that, I go, look, every single window I took a 15-minute break, so it was a 6-hour window, but I got 5 hours of solid time done. That's a big piece. Think about it, that's a solid hour that you had a break within the 5 hours, but you were able to kind of chill. So what it does for me, when I break, is I can walk around, reset my mind. It's like washing the whiteboard off. I got all the stuff on there, wipe it off, go to the next task. And now I have a little bit of a breather. I have my energy. I can prolong myself. But if you just hit the ground and try to plow through 6 hours, you might get 2. You maybe get 3. I'm talking maybe, big time maybe. That 4th hour, bro, you were dying. You're gonna be dying. So the idea is, think about how can I get this thing's anchored to have this window of time. Then repeat this process 2 to 4 more times. I mean, if you can do 4, beautiful. That's gonna be the most you can do. A study was done by Inc. magazine and actually found out that in an 8-hour workday, the average time that someone could focus and get work done was not what you'd think. It was in fact only a window of time of about 2 hours, 53 minutes. That's it. 2 hours, 53 minutes was the amount of time someone could focus and work on something. That's crazy, isn't it? Like, that's really how it works. You don't have a whole lot of time. So what I recommend doing is actually sitting in yourself a little bit down and going, hey, I want to get to the point where I can focus for a long time. Well, build the muscle. Build that muscle so you can go more hours, because if the average person goes 3 hours, you better be better than average in time. You want to be really successful, you gotta be better than the average human being, right? That's abnormal to have success. So push yourself. See if you can get a 4-hour, 5-hour day. I believe 5 hours is a good window. Now, I can get 6 done, and that's after years and years of building up and structure and having my planner guide me and having these little windows of time, but it is not an easy task. So make sure you give yourself that window, and then at the end of the 5th interval, here's what I want you to do. I want you to sit back, breathe, and I want you to write down what you accomplished. It sounds simple, right? You're like, oh, we mean write down what I accomplished. I mean, dead serious. Write down what you got done, how it was accomplished, what success you had, because it gives the brain a little bit of a dopamine dump. The brain goes, wow, good job, man. You got that thing done. Look at you. Like, here's the plan. You got it done. I feel good. So you start stacking these days of feeling confident, feeling successful, feeling prideful of what you accomplished that most people wouldn't accomplish. Heck, you wouldn't have accomplished had you not done it this way. So sit yourself down and go, you know what? Hey, I got this, and this done. Or at least look at the checklist and check all your boxes. Look at the boxes and go, man, I really got these 5 things done. And now you've built some momentum to go to the next day and the next day and the next day. And the more you do that, the more you'll find you actually have more than enough time to get things done. In fact, if you do it properly, you'll try to find things to do. You'll run out of things that have to get done. You'll find things to do. This is very simple. And if you do this, it'll help you avoid the procrastination. So you go from being disciplined to an emotion to discipline to a plan to get rid of procrastination and get way more done than you've ever done before in your life. So take this into account, apply these simple concepts, and watch it change your life. That's it. Make sure to check this video out here, because this was a cool one. You see right here, there it goes. Hey, check this video out. You're gonna get some cool things out of this one because I spent some time on it for you. That's it. Take care, bless you, and always, as always, do the dark work to make shift happen.